have a lot of ground to cover today. Actually, a surprise. We've got the club medals that are just arrived. So let's just start off with a plea for those of you who have not renewed your dues for 2018. The new Gobrecht Journal was issued, I think, last week. It's phenomenal. It's Bill Boogert and all the authors did one heck of a job with this issue. Jim Macor's cover art is phenomenal. You really got to get this issue. And it's not too late to renew your dues or become a new member. Dennis Fortin, right there, he's got a copy of the journal, and he will be willing to take your $25, and Carl will give you a friendly phone call and get you all the, get you your credentials and your Gobrecht Journal. All right, Seated Fest 2. I am really, really excited. We've been thinking about this concept now for about 3 years of how to pull it off. And I think it's finally coming together. We're beginning to talk with the Fun organization, so Randy Campbell and Cindy Webker. We have located, I think, a phenomenal program manager in Stephen Petty. Stephen Petty was the former president of Kona. He ran the Ohio State Coin Show. He has agreed to take on the role of coordinating Seated Fest 2 for our club. There'll be more coming out in the next months on this. Bottom line, the vision is 10 corner tables in the club area at the Fun Bourse, and we're going to be asking certain individuals in the country to exhibit their marquee Liberty seated coinage sets, and we will have additional space on a first come, first served basis for collectors to bring their collections to. In conjunction, John Frost is thinking about holding a mini Liberty seated seminar in conference rooms at the Fun Show. So it's going to be one heck of a potential experience, and also a great vehicle for recruiting new members. So that's what we're thinking. The LSCC annual meeting at the ANA is going to be Thursday, August 16th at 9 o'clock, the traditional time. Where the club table will be set up, we'll announce. At that meeting, we will be giving out the Cam Arwash Award for Best Article in 2017, a President's Award again, and also we will induct a new member of the Hall of Fame. So again, it's going to be, I think, a very active meeting. We've already lined up a guest speaker. So, and then we will also talk about the developments with Seated Fest 2. Okay, the regional team is everywhere. They're doing a phenomenal job recruiting new members and sharing the passion for Liberty seated collecting coinage. We started the LSCC Premier Membership Medal Program back in 2017 in November, and today the finished product arrived. And what's the next slide? Okay, I'm going to turn it over to Jeff Ball, who was the program manager for this, and Jim Macor, who was the artist for the medals and the holder. And I'll let them talk about this project and their final product. It's phenomenal.
Please see us if you haven't had a chance to. And Jim is really the artistic vision behind it, of course.
Come on up.
Who was on your round table or your mind, your brainstorming session, Gerry, at this?
Yeah, it was at the ANA summer seminar. It was led myself and John.
And a bottle of wine.
And a bottle of wine at St. Mary's bed and breakfast. And we were trying to figure out what do we do next as something to celebrate being an LSCC club member. Because for some of us, it's part of our lives. It's a really serious deal. And we wanted to somehow produce something that was special. And it evolved, and this is it.
And 1 year ago, this is my 1 year anniversary of going to my first major coin show and attending a Liberty Seated Collectors Club. I was putting together a raw type set. I was new to numismatics. And so I met the group and I just thought this was a group worthy of some volunteer time. Offered it to Gerry, and this is the project he put me on. So it's a great opportunity to work with. I'm also a photographer, so I have a little bit of artistic side to me, and to work with somebody like Jim on this has been truly phenomenal. What it is like Gerry was saying, you're going to capture your legacy here as an LSCC member. Your member name and number are going to be engraved on all of the reverses. If you get the 4 metal set, which is 1 ounce of gold, copper, and silver, you're going to get 2 silver pieces. The reason we did the 2 silver, as you can see in the custom Capital Classics holder, the reverse featuring your name and number will be featured in the middle bottom. So the 2 silvers you can see both the obverse and the reverse without flipping the holder. Jim designed both the holder and the coin, the metals, I should say. And what he did, I'm going to let Jim talk about it. You can talk about your design. So this is how the finished product will look. Of course, we have the 4 coin holder with us today. We are still taking orders. You can order this set. We can discuss pricing with you at the booth. On both the 4 metal set plus the holder and the silver by itself with the custom design holder as well. That's going to look stunning. So those are going to be available at the table, and we will review that. So we're very excited. This came together on Tuesday. Of course, there was a lot of anxiety in putting the set together for the first time, but I can tell you it was a very emotional experience seeing this come together. And we're ecstatic with the final result. And I'm going to let Jim talk about the design, some of the elements in it, what it means, and how it relates to the LSCC.
Well, that's what I was going to think. We'll pass that around. Everybody likes it. It's the first time I saw that today, too, by the way. I was always a little nervous, but Jeff had my back the whole time. He was getting the metals done. He was working with Dan Carr, working with the Capital Plastics people. So I was just giving him artwork. But I wasn't sure everything was going to fit, so I was a little nervous. And as Jeff had mentioned, this all started with Gerry and the leadership team. And I got an email from Gerry. He says, "Hey, Jim, we're thinking of a medal. Would you like to help?" And I was like, wow, I get to work on a medal. That's really cool. So, and then it just unfolded from there. With regard to the design, I wanted something that was original, but then also true to the heritage of seated coinage. So we went back and forth. I came up with some concepts. Again, they went to the leadership team. When they saw that particular reverse, we had different variations. They said, that's what we're going with. And then months and months, and Jeff's hard work in coordinating all of the work with Dan Carr. I was involved too, kind of whining a little here and there that the strike wasn't strong enough, the detail wasn't quite good enough. But in the end, today's the first day that I actually get to see it. If we go back one slide, can we go back one slide?
This one? Or?
Yeah, that one. What you're seeing there was the concept. What you have in hand is the reality, and it really came together. I am pleased that I could be of help.
Thank you, Jim.
We should note that that set will be at the club table after the meeting, so you can take a real good look at it when you come by our club table.
Yeah, the single with the capital holder is going to be $80, and the 4-piece set is, how are we pricing that, Jeff?
We have a couple of options. I think we're still at $1,000 plus your own bullion. Let me double check that. Yes, $1,000 plus your bullion, or $1,000 plus current spot price of gold bullion plus 5%. I didn't calculate that this morning. I think we're $1,365.
Yeah.
This morning on
Ballpark.
gold. So
Ballpark, yep. Okay. Bill.
Okay, 2 2 weeks ago, I'm Bill Booger, for those of you who don't know me. 2 weeks ago, we mailed out the Gobrecht Journal, latest Gobrecht Journal. I had exceptional support from, it features Jim Acor. Where are you, Jim? Jim Acor, that's his design too. He gave me 3 designs, and actually my wife and I picked that one. We liked that one the best. But he did exceptional work. It was a tough decision. And then we got great articles. And I wanted to point out, there's the 4 mints that minted the Liberty-seated coinage on the back cover. And coins that came from those mints on the front cover. So Jim did a wonderful job on that. But we had great articles from everybody. I've already got some in the queue for the next issue, and I'm looking forward to the next deadline for the next issue is June 1st. So I'm looking for a couple more articles and a centerfold or a featured collection. So thanks for all the help in the past. I look forward to working in the future. Okay, next. I'm up next. Okay. And I'm also the chairman of the Hall of Fame Committee. You've probably seen in the Gobrecht Journal and in the e-Gobrecht where I've announced that we're seeking nominations. So far I've got 4 nominations for the past year, 2017. We always do it in the preceding year. And we've got a committee of Lynn, myself, Tom DeLaurie, Gerry, and Mark Sheldon. And some of those, a lot of these are longtime members. We're accepting nominations till April 15th. So if you can even tell me in person here at the show, that's fine. But I've got 4 nominations via email so far. And the Hall of Fame honors a noteworthy individual for their contributions to Liberty-seated Collectors Club and or Liberty-seated coinage and knowledge. Past inductees are Cam Alwash, John McCluskey, Al Blythe, Randy Wiley, Brian Greer, Jerry Fortin, Jim O'Donnell, Gene Gardner, Jim Gray, and myself. You notice that a lot of those members are deceased, unfortunately. But, we've got quite a crew of prominent numismatists that are in the Hall of Fame. We're looking for someone to join that list again this year. The inductee will be announced at the club meeting this summer at the ANA, if there is one. The 5-member committee will review nominations, and we've had in the past where we haven't had any. We're hoping to have one this year. And the criteria for getting in the Hall of Fame, there's 4 of them. Numismatic research on Liberty-seated coinage, numismatic literature, primary collections of Liberty-seated coinage, and been a club officer for at least 5 years. Doesn't mean you have to have all of those, but just one of those. That's the criteria for consideration for nominees in the Hall of Fame. Again, I'd like to receive nominations by April 15th, tax day. It's an easy way to remember it. And you can send those to me, all this information, or just tell me at the show. Any questions on the Hall of Fame? Okay, thank you. Am I up again? Okay.
Dennis.
Okay. All right, before I get into the regional report, I got a couple of things. Number one, we have the club medal, membership medal applications. If you haven't already signed up to get your medal, we have them at the club table, or I have them here, so see me or any of us at the table. We'll take care of you on that. Also, we have a request from ICTA. They want donations of coins for an upcoming heritage auction, which is going to benefit combating counterfeits. So I think that's something that we're all interested in. If you have a coin that and you feel strongly about this, if you want to donate,
all the proceeds, including Heritage's 20%, will go to combating counterfeiting. So they want to get some legislation going. Again, anybody that hasn't paid their dues and didn't get their journal, we have extra copies of the journal at the table. Pay your dues here at the show, you get your journal, you're back on board. So see us about that here or at the club table. Okay, now, recent meetings, they had a meeting at Fun. Value of the dollar in the mid-1880s by Stephen Petty was the educational portion of that. Liberty Seated Quarters was a presentation that Gerry Fortin gave at Fun, and I understand that both were very well received. We had the Many Faces of Liberty as the table exhibit. The Houston Money Show, John Frost presented the Many Faces of Seated Liberty. And the Knoxville show, John did Carson City Liberty Seated Coinage. Charlotte was also Carson City Coinage by John. And the Long Beach Expo, Brian Cushing hosted the social, and Bob Clark was at the club table. Bob reported good activity at the table, and Brian reported a good turnout at the club dinner. So.
How much beer was consumed?
Okay, next. All right, upcoming, we've got the Mansfield show in Willimantic this Sunday, so John and I will be traveling directly from this show to that one. And the week after that, John and Joe will be at New Hampshire for the Manchester show. There'll be a club table, a meeting, and an educational portion. You know what you're doing?
I don't remember.
I think you said Carson City.
I think so.
Carson City again. Okay, after that is the Bay State show, April 19th to 21st. The club table will be hosted by Joe Casaza. And Central States is coming again, April 27th. The program will be Liberty Seated Quarters, an underrated series. Are you doing that, Gerry?
Yeah, I'm doing it.
Okay, very good. And Silver Dollar Roundtable, Liberty Seated Dollars by Brian Cushing. Pawcatuck Coin Show that will have John at the club table. And Garden State in New Jersey, May 17th and 19th. That'll be John and Carl, I believe. And after that, John's going to bring in, I believe this is a new show for us?
We did it a few years ago.
Okay, so it's been a couple of years. Raleigh, North Carolina, June 8th to the 10th. And then we're back in Long Beach again, June 14th to 16th. So if you live in any of these areas, please come to the meetings, the educational programs, stop by the club table. That supports the efforts of the regional team and get you a little more connection with your fellow club members. And that's what keeps the whole thing rolling. And I guess that's it for me.
Yep.
Okay, great, thank you.
Oh, the shirts.
Oh, yes, we have club shirts at the table.
Yeah, we would have brought them here, except that we didn't want to take them home last night and bring them because we can't get them to the floor until after 9. So.
What's up with that? Slackers. Just like you.
Okay, before we jump into that, Roy,
Yeah.
come on up. So, just hold on. So, I don't know how many of you know Roy Ash. Roy, what's your member number?
159,
159, and you joined when?
1973 or something like that.
So Roy is one of our oldest active members. He's attending our shows, he's attending the club dinners, and he just surprised me. He just walked in with this metal case and he said, well, I got a little bit of a gift for the Liberty Seated Club. I mean, this is amazing. He had beautiful cut glass with Jim Maycor's Liberty Seated emblem.
Sure.
There we go.
I have a friend, a lady friend that's one of the top glass carvers in the United States. and I help her get materials to carve sometimes. And she said, I need to do something for you. And I said, well, I've got this really exceptional piece of glass. I said, can you carve that emblem on it? Because I went to Baltimore, and she said, sure. So she sat down one night and spent the whole night carving, polishing it. She can basically carve glass, anything you want done in glass. She's just that exceptional. And so I just thought, the club's been really good to me over my, whatever it's been, 40 years. And I just thought it was give back a little bit. And,
Well, we really, really appreciate
I
the
told
gift
Jerry, I
you
said,
brought.
you can use it in conventions or banquets or, set up for the A&A people to see it, get some bit of attention and come in the booth or something.
Right,
you know,
it's
whatever.
going to become a piece of our heritage, so right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm, in addition to education director, I'm also the webmaster. And over the last few months, I've actually had several people ask me a question. As many of you know, Bill has been very gracious, and he put the first 4 volumes of his book on our website as downloadable PDFs for free. And I've had a number of people lately ask, when's volume 5 going to be there? And what I tell them is, the reason Bill put those first 4 volumes is, one, he sold out of them years ago, and they're long out of print, and he wanted the information to get out there. So the answer to when is volume 5 going to be on the website? First of all, Bill has to sell out, and then years after that. So the answer is they may never be there. So don't wait for them to be on the website. They may never get there. So if you want the book, the guy's right here. So I get that question, and that's my answer. They're there because they're out of print, and he sold out many years ago, and that's why they're there. So, if you want the book, buy it.
Can I add something? I've got a lot of questions. People think I am working on the next book, but it's not starting in 1853. It's going to be 1856 to 1873, no arrows. So that's volume 6. I'm skipping over the arrows until later, probably because I don't like them.
We done?
That's it.
All righty. Len, you want to take us home?
All right, well, thanks a lot, everyone. Great turnout. We've been doing this in Baltimore since the mid-2000s, and it's grown over time, and just great to see everyone here. So hope you find some great coins downstairs. We do have a few dealers in the room. Brian Cushing, you're at table 1028. Jerry's at 818. Anyone else I missed?
Club's at 912.
Very good. All right, thanks for coming, and we'll see you downstairs.